So I've got a DW5000 bass pedal that I've had for over 20 years now, probably 25. And I wanted to upgrade from a single sprocket to a double chain sprocket. And there's a couple motivating factors on this for me. One is in gigging, going out and gigging. My pedal wouldn't feel right, and then I'd notice that in all the excitement of setting up and being rushed to get on stage and off stage and all that, I'd look down and my chain would be like this on the sprocket. So that was a problem. And then in addition to that, I wanted to change this gear ratio. This is, I think, what they call the Turbo. And this one I think they call the Accelerator, which essentially is a slower ratio. I grew up playing an old Speed King, which was a great pedal back in the day, but by today's standards is kind of crude, but it was slow. And I'm thinking this is going to give me more of a feel for the old Speed King. As you can see, I kind of have this thing detuned, which is how I like it. But anyway, yeah, so I've got my tools here. I'm going to have those in the description, and let's get into it. I'm just going to take the tensioner off here, and I do have an upgrade that I'm going to be doing on this here. This is a friction point, and also I see as a single point of failure. This could easily come off, especially if you like to play your pedal detuned like I do. So we'll do an upgrade video on that as well. This is just an Allen set screw, holds this on, and I like to lay my stuff out in the order that I took it off because I get easily confused. Also retaining this assembly is 2 set screws here. Back those out. This is a 3/32 Allen. And once you do that, this whole assembly should slide out to the side. But as you'll notice, I left the sprocket and the beater cam here tight so that I can have leverage to slide everything over. And once you do that, you can see there is a retaining collar that's going to come out. I'm trying to get a good angle here. Set that aside. And then the 9/16 on that bolt head right there that's now exposed. Now you can see the bearing is ready to come out. I can now loosen the beater cam as well as the chain cam. This is sealed bearing. Probably want to check yours, make sure it's spinning nicely. If you feel any bumps in there or whatever, I'd replace it. These are available on the DW side. I saw that. Looks like a skateboard bearing to me. Now the beater will slide off. As well as the chain cam. got a 3/8 wrench that I'm going to use to hold the nut that's retaining the chain to the pedal underneath there. So there's the old sprocket. And the new one, you can see these have a different ratio entirely. And I think both of these are available as a double chain on the DW site. So I have a mark here where the set screw was for the old sprocket, which I can line up the new sprocket with. Slide that on. And then beater. Same situation, I'm just lining up the markings where the old set screws had made a mark on the shaft there. And back in. Now these are sealed bearings, however, there is a little bit of grease from the factory. On the insides of these bearings, and so I'm going to replace that. And I think it's just to keep them moist, even though they are sealed. I think it just keeps them moist, keeps them from drying out. So I'm going to replace that, and this is just a little synthetic grease tube that you can get at a hardware store. And then I'm just assembling in reverse order. Bearing in there. Nut. I'm going to tighten this beater on there so I can have a little control over the shaft and slide it out. And just snug. More grease on this side. And a retaining collar. it goes in this way. There is a chamfered edge on that. Put the set screws back in. As you can see, the retaining collar is flush with the tower here. I'm going to check this for side play. There's no side play on that, so we're good. And then something that is not original in this pedal that I'm going to add, just for good measure, to keep lint and hair out of this area here. I have this neoprene washer that I picked up at the hardware store. Fits right over there. And that'll just kind of keep the dust out of there. Spring lobe back on. Alright, now I'm ready to attach the chain to the pedal board. So you can see this new chain actually holds the nut so that I don't need the wrench, which is kind of nice. And that's that. Reattach the spring. Now that those are in place, you can kind of mess with this, the side alignment of your beater, sprocket. Let's see. This is 3mm Allen. So just want to line this up and make sure the chain is straight with no side tension on it all the way through the travel. That looks pretty good. Align the beater for its final alignment once it's on, kind of mounted up to my drum, but for now I'm just going to put a little bit of space between the frame of the pedal and the beater lobe, and I think we're good here. Just so you can see it. I have a double chain sprocket on there. More reliability and kind of slow down the ratio as well at the same time. As I said, I'm going to have a video also to upgrade this here, and Good luck with your DW pedal.